Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chat It Get Baked, and it is episode 10, double figures. Okay, so we're doing a quick fire anonymous fan questions today. It's been a little bit hectic, so I know I promised one with Mickey Knuckles, but we'll party too hard over the weekend. But we are going to do it over stream when she's back from Australia. She's just landed in Australia for the Deathmatch Down Under Dream Tournament. Best of luck, Mickey. Auntie Mickey, go smash it. I'm sure. Gives her more to talk about when she's back, do you know what I mean? Anyway. And got other ones planned for the future. It's just fitting people in with the schedules and stuff. Obviously, I'm all new to this and it's hard to keep up with other people. But I can always deliver content on my own. So here we are. I put a post up. It was up for less than an hour and I had enough questions to make a video. So thank you for the support. Let's get into the questions. Okay, question 1. When will we see you versus Jack Harrop for the Rise European Deathmatch Championship? Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? That's a big one. Jack has just won Games of Death 2025. This weekend just gone. And as you know, the winner of Games of Death gets a shot at the European Deathmatch Champion, which just so happens to be me. I'm on like 750 days or something now. 27 defenses. I'm coming for 1,000 days. But it looks like it's going to be soon, isn't it? I don't think there's any more Rise shows for the rest of the year. So it's probably going to be next year. One thing I will say, though, pulling the curtain back just a little bit, I would like it to be a little bit of a build to it. I'd like, to be honest, if we could get more than one out of it. Because me and Jack have only ever had one singles match. And it was a part of that Bleeding Gums, W3L, and Valor triple cross show as a part of that weekend where Clash at the Castle WWE pay-per-view was in Scotland, and we did like a street fight, and it was that was fucking great, you know what I mean? But obviously we're up in the ante here. It's gonna be a death match. I really hope we can get like one or two out of it, you know what I mean? Not one or two. I hope we can get two out of it at least, you know what I mean? In my head, I'd like there to be a bit of a story and a bit of a build to it, you know what I mean? Because sometimes that lacks a little bit in deathmatch across the board. But obviously, I feel like I've got a decent wrestling brain. Jack's got a good wrestling brain. Obviously, he's got his dad to talk to. I've got Tim to talk to. Obviously, O'Doherty listens to our ideas and stuff. So I'm sure we can make this into a little special storyline for next year and get some good shit out of it. But that was a really good question. Thank you. How hard is it to adjust from working death matches to working family-friendly shows? Well, at the end of the day, right, so number one, if you want to get into death matches, you need to be like trained to wrestle anyway at a good level on like family shows, over 18 shows, whether that's like whatever type of wrestling. Before you start doing death match heavy wrestling, you need to learn to wrestle anyway. And obviously, a lot of that comes from family-friendly wrestling. And also, it's like just deathmatch. It's deathmatch wrestling at the end of the day. So you learn your trade and stuff on these family shows and even over 18 shows in like straight up matches. And then you just apply that to death matches. Like you tell the same stories like you would in family shows. You just tweak it, you know what I mean? It shouldn't just be like weapons, weapons, weapons. It's wrestling still. And obviously the crowd's different. So like the big thing is like remembering not to swear. I only ever recall swearing on a family show once. It was like when I very first started. Not that anything happened to it, and there's no clips of it, like, but it was on a shit show run by Dean Knight. Anyway, but yeah, I really, it's just the crowd. Like, for us as wrestlers, there shouldn't be too much difference other than the fact that the crowd is an older crowd and we're allowed to use gimmicks and weapons. At the end of the day, we should be still trying to tell a story, still trying to entertain the crowd as we would, still working the crowd as we would, whether it's a family show. Obviously, family shows, you can get away with a lot more pantomime stuff, like face versus heel for the kids, like chicken, ooh, he's a chicken, easy. That won't really wash on a deathmatch / over 18 show. Kind of, sometimes, obviously, it's never say never. But, do you know what I mean? So, in reality, there shouldn't be too much of a difference, other than, like, the obvious things. Like the crowd, the fact we're using weapons, slightly different audience, like, expectation, but wrestling wise and what we actually do in the ring, not really much, to be fair. Like, other than keeping it PG. Sorry to hear you've had a hard time. What gets you through these times? Thank you. So it's all right. I'm tough. I'm a tough cookie. What gets me through these times is wrestling. Wrestling. I love it. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I had that shite a few weeks ago with that bitch slandering us, putting that video out, slandering us. So, and then off the back of that, I had North against Scotty Rourke, no ring death fight against Trent Seven, and then Cam Solis' big return. And like I've just put out, I think in all honesty, I've just had three of me best matches ever, back to back to back. Do you know what I mean? So, who can't work? Who can't work? Stupid bitch. But obviously the fans as well. The groundswell of public support that I've had as well. Like people buying merch, people tuning into my videos, people messaging us and stuff. Do you know what I mean? People speaking to us. It all keeps us going at the end of the day, and like that's it really. That's what keeps us going. Fan support and wrestling, because if there was no fans, I couldn't wrestle. And if I didn't have wrestling, I'd probably lose my mind and be in a ditch somewhere. But but yeah, you guys keep us going. So I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Okay, on the next one. Who helps you out with your videos? Well, editing, recording them and all that, it's just me at the minute. Like, I just do everything on my phone. Obviously, I want to upgrade my equipment and stuff. I've got a laptop, but it's not very good, but I want to upgrade my equipment and stuff. So I put that link out, that throne link, where like you can donate to the fund to help, like fan support, to help us get better equipment and stuff. I just set it up, like I'm not expecting anything from it, but you can, like I put like I need 250 quid on there. I think the website Throne takes like 23 quid, so it's like 273 quid. But you can even donate like a 5 or a 10 and stuff. It's all gonna go towards equipment and stuff, and I'll put it in and I'll do a big like unboxing eventually. But if not, like I'm gonna upgrade anyway when I get some extra funds in and stuff, disposable cash, like YouTube advert money. But obviously you've got like Tom Campbell, who helps us with me thumbnails and that, like because I'm terrible at editing stuff. Danny Douglas and me does a couple of thumbnails as well. Tom Campbell also helped us a lot with like picked his brain about the ins and outs of how YouTube works, like tags, how to get clicks on your thumbnails, how to like get better reach for your titles, how to get better clicks for your titles, and then obviously I've got my uncle Al, who's in the back. You can probably hear us, so he's probably got a smile on his face. I'm gonna talk good about him. Obviously, I live with him, so I'm forever. He's probably sick of us, but I forever bounce ideas off him back and forth. You know what I mean? So in reality, there's a lot of people who helps us. But when it comes for the ideas and stuff, but when it comes to the actual production of it, it's just me and my phone, my soundboard off Temu, and me microphone that I need to upgrade, and a free app called UCut. Next one. What's your favourite memory? Doesn't have to be wrestling. Well, it is going to be wrestling because wrestling's the best. Always, it's going to be short, this one, because I've talked about it before, but Bloodsport debut, that was crazy. We're coming up in Philly, like Bloodsport debut. Like I wanted to be in Bloodsport like my whole career, and like getting there like in pretty quick time fashion. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, and then having that picture and that lineup with like Josh Barnett, Shayna Baszler, Minoru Suzuki, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, Timothy Thatcher, and me with my Newcastle shorts and my choke dealer shirt on. What a moment! You know what I mean? That's crazy. Like you can't write that stuff. You know what I mean? And then other than that, it has to be like wrestling the Necro Butcher. I say it always, like my favourite match ever was Samoa Joe versus the Necro Butcher to watch as a fan. And I think there's a lot, like not many wrestlers will be able to get this, especially coming from my time when I started, like not long ago and stuff, especially like when Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe is my favourite match and how long ago it happened. Not many wrestlers will actually be able to say they have like been able to wrestle like one half of their favourite match. Do you know what I mean? We got like the fact that I like watch so much Samoa Joe and I learn so much from him, and I use his style a lot, and like we got to like half recreate the magic that they had, like crazy. It's a crazy old world wrestling. I think I know who sent these in. My boy Hornswoggle. I think. But anyway, so he's asked 3 questions. First one we'll get back to because watch time. But I'll answer the other 2 questions in right now for you. So the first of the 3, it was the second of the 3 you asked. Will you do a remake of the famous firework photo this year? The Facebook colours demand it. Well, if the Facebook colours demand it, I'm a people person. I give the people what they want. So, okay, I'll grab a bunch of fireworks, put my jacket on, put a joint in my mouth, light it up, and get Alan to take a photo of us. Upgraded. How many years ago was that photo? Gotta be like 5 years ago, maybe. Easy. So I'll recreate it. When is bonfire night? Alan, when's bonfire night? When's bonfire night? Oh, remember? Yeah, okay. Sorry, sound. Thank you. Okay, I've got the 5th of November. So yeah, 5th of November. I will drop a remake of the famous firework photo. You have my word. I don't know why I stopped that there, so I stopped in between every question for easy editing, but I'm just going to roll on because I need to answer the third of the three questions you asked, and then I'll get back to the first one. Anywho, who would win in a fight, Barmer or Davy Charlton? Well, Barmer got his ass kicked off Bay Rose at the weekend, so I think Davy Charlton's coming for the easy win. Easy win, dirty protest. I'd love to see that, I'd pay good money to see Carl Barmer fight Davy Charlton. I do a little bit of training with David Charlton where I get him on the pads, make sure he's mobile, do you know what I mean? Make sure he can get out of the wheelchair, make sure he's clean. Goals for 2026, another good question. So for me, I like to be realistic about my goals and stuff, and like obviously being realistic about your goals helps you when you achieve it. It makes it more achievable. Obviously, you want to have like crazy goals as well, but like especially in wrestling, it's like and like I haven't really been doing it that long, especially like internationally and breaking out and stuff. So I like realistic goals. So my big realistic goal for 2026 is doing a full month in America. Obviously, I've been to America 6, 7, 8 times now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 6, 7. That's what the kids like, apparently. Anyway, I'm gonna. My big aim next year is to go to America for a month, get a good stint where I can do like 2, 3 shows every weekend, and just stay out there for a month. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna miss, but in fact I am. I'm not gonna do Mania week this year, unless some next year. Sorry, unless something crazy comes up. But in an ideal world, my next time in America, I'll be there for a whole month. So yeah, that's what my big realistic goal is. Other than that, Japan would be nice, but I got told I'm too handsome. But I've had a rough time since I got told I was too handsome for Japan, so maybe I qualify now. Tim Strange is too handsome for Japan. He's not. I don't know how he's gonna get there with his Facebook statuses. Look at that mustache. Who gives you the most hope in years to come in the deathmatch scene worldwide? I'm not gonna lie, me, because I've got this YouTube channel now. It's real. I am the real content man of not just British wrestling, but deathmatch wrestling. You get anything you get on this channel is the real truth. You know what I mean? It's ran by me, a wrestler who's in the trenches, in the thick of it, and I'm putting out great matches all the time. Do you know what I mean? And having matches with guys are coming to deathmatch who have never had deathmatch before, or like willing to like dip the toe in and have a good one with us. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean, for the clips and the bloody photo, and then off they go. But I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Because it's good for me. So I give me at the minute, honestly, I give myself the most hope, and that's the truthful answer. Because like, tell us if I'm wrong. Tell us if I'm wrong. Here we are. The reason why everybody has stuck around for this video. I got asked this question in like 3 different ways. So, we got asked what happened with you and Pondo at XPW. Did I hear you call Pondo a cunt before the fan photos with Games of Death entrance this past weekend? Yes, you did. And what's the story with Pondo at Rise slash issues you had previously? Story time. Right, give us a second. I need to sip the tea for this. Couple of puffs. Right, so start from the beginning. It was like 2023 when I like was working for XPW, and I'd never met Pondo before, but I'd heard of him and I'd heard a lot about him, and like all the boys like say, oh, he's a legend and all this and all that, yada yada yada. I've never met him. I don't know. Now this is the only time, other than this past weekend, I've been on a show with Pondo. It wasn't I think it was an XPW show at the Hart Ballroom. Can't remember exactly which one, and a fan from the UK, Adam Fellows, asked me to pick up some shirts from Pondo to give to him or deliver to him in the UK to save on shipping. He said he'd been in contact with Pondo and he'd sorted it. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Adam's a good guy. He does a lot for me. He supports me. He helps me out. Of course, no issues. Do you know what I mean? And I'm helping another wrestler save a bit of money on delivery and shipping. No problem. No problem at all. So I see him at the show. I go up to him and I introduce myself and I go, oh, I got like a couple of shirts I need to pick off you for a fan back home. And the guy, he doesn't even hardly look at us. He doesn't even get up off his chair. And he picks the fucking shirts out of his bag and just throws them at us and like grunts. Like fucking, I didn't realise until he was cutting his promos this weekend how much of like he sounds like an old lesbian who smokes like 100 cigarettes a day. It's really funny. So he grunted like that. Do you know, like if you watch Always Sunny and you've got Charlie Day's mom and like the woman she's with, I think it's Mac's mom. That's the voice. Anyway, so and I was like, what a dick. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really overthought this situation for a long time. It really grinded on us because I'm a good judge of character, me, and like it's just grinded on us for ages. And then like I heard it's only recently that like Pondo's came back to my attention. But like that situation has like ground on us for a long time. And then I've heard like the situation where he was funny with someone he was funny with someone a worker, I don't want to say who, but he was funny with someone, a Brit wrestler, a Brit deathmatch fucking legend, one of the best in the world, may I add. Spoilers. He was funny with him. Well, they had heat over the Japanese language. Pondo thinks he owns the Japanese language. You'll probably get the word out. Pondo thinks he owns the Japanese language, so he was giving someone heat for like using the same name, and then like he was funny with him when he was over at GCW and Juggalos, like when Pondo was backed by all his boys. So I heard that story, so I was like, oh, what a dickhead, you know what I mean? And then I heard he got pissy about Darwin's promo, calling him a geriatric fuck, which is funny. Bear in mind, he was also talking about Mickey Knuckles, and Auntie Mickey knows that Darwin's a good guy, and it's all to sell the match and hype the match, and she was fine with everything. Do you know what I mean? But anyway. And then, so obviously, Pondo was at the show over the weekend. I didn't say hello to him. I didn't like shake his hand because why should I? Do you know what I mean? After all this shit. All that, like, my initial thought had been, like, solidified and stamped in with what I'd heard, what he'd been like with my friends as well. So, anyway, comes to the Sunday Games of Death show, and it's the afternoon show where all the first round matches are happening. And then the gimmick was going to be the last match. I don't know why Pondo went over B Rose either, by the way. Fucking hell, that was terrible booking, but sorry. End of the match was going to be whoever wins. They quickly leave the ring because they all have a second, Pondo has a whole second show to cut promos and wrestle again and be seen by fans. So the plan was meant to be they leave the ring as it's getting cleaned. Bobby Cash is going to go on the mic and start to tie up the show. But before people leave and stuff, do you know what I mean? Before people, because there was a little interval, and then my music was meant to quickly hit, I was going to come out, cut a promo on my entrance saying, look, we know the finals is going to be the main event of the next show, but I'm the European Deathmatch Champion. I deserve the main event show, so I'm putting out an open challenge for the European Deathmatch Championship to anybody who's not in the tournament right now. Ooh, we've got an extra match. Ooh. Pondo grabbed the mic selfishly and started putting himself over and started chatting about what match he's got next and all that. And obviously, he was boring everyone. So, fans started to leave because everyone thought that was it. Do you know what I mean? He spent a good 2, 3, 4 minutes on the mic, and I'm ready to go, and I'm like, what's going on? Even Bobby Cash come back at one point. He managed to come back behind the curtain and go, oh, we're ready to go, and this cunt fucking ties up his promo. And I'm like, what's he doing? And Bobby's like, I don't know. And then I got told people are leaving and shit, and I'm like, what the hell? It's like Cam's big comeback match, and half the crowd's gone. Do you know what I mean? Because rightly so as well, because they thought at that point I would have as well. I would have left rightly so. I would have thought, that's it. We're gonna have an hour, and then the next show's gonna start. But if Pondo hadn't have grabbed the mic and started chatting shit and boring everyone for 5 minutes, in that 5 minutes, me and Cam would have been in the ring, and the match would be getting announced. People wouldn't have left. Do you know what I mean? So I was hot, like I was really hot because obviously I was ready to go. Do you know what I mean? You get mentally prepared and you get ready to go. You go for the match and like obviously the match was great. Me and Cam went hard. Do you know what I mean? And I want to do a good job for Cam in his comeback match. Make sure he look good. Make sure I look good. Make sure we're both safe as well. Do you know what I mean? And you get in these mindsets and you get in these zones, and then when things go like obviously like it happens when people go over time in the matches and stuff, but like people aren't going to leave then, do you know what I mean? When it's in the middle, like, was a thing where it needed to happen and it was agreed. That was meant to happen. And Pondo went off script and, like, for no reason, do you know what I mean? And obviously, with all this underlying issues that I've had with him, I kind of just lost it. And, like, I went out and he was standing on the apron after, like, 10 minutes maybe now. Half the crowd had left. I was like, what the fuck was all that about? And he was like, what? And I was like, fucking hell, you cunt, man. And then I just come back. And then, like, he come and apologise and stuff, but I was just like, I was just hot and like I still had to wrestle and stuff, but like yeah, not a cool guy. But then also I heard he was like funny with like some fans and shit after this. So after like my match and stuff for Cam, someone who I know well, a fan, comes up to us, and a guy he was with was like driving Pondo or something, and he like went. So his mate is like a regular at Kumite and Rise and stuff, who I know who I'm talking about here. But like his friend was like driving Pondo. His friend said to him, "Oh, do you want to quickly come meet Pondo before he leaves?" And my friend who I'm talking about here was like, oh yeah, of course, I'd love to. And then he come over and like the guy went, oh, Pondo, would you meet your pal? And he went, yeah, as long as you're quick. Like, what an arsehole. How he, like, what a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Like, what a dick. But yeah, and then he even come and told me after, he went, yeah, Pondo's an arsehole. And then I heard a few inklings, like, from people who had run-ins in. So, I don't know what his deal is. And I understand like, he's got fans and stuff, and I respect that he's a legend and done a lot in the business, but like, doesn't mean he can be a dickhead, you know what I mean? And someone like me will not stand for that. So, I hope that clears everything up. Thank you for everyone who sent in questions. I got loads of questions in like half an hour, 40 minutes to make this impromptu video. So, thank you for tuning in. Episode 10. Crazy.